Welcome back to another YouTube video. It's Bobby FPS here. As you guys can tell in the title, we're doing a Dying Light 2 review. This is the very first review I think I'm doing on the channel, so bear with me. I think the review is going to be like 3, 4, 5 minutes. I don't know. It's not going to be very long. So without any further ado, let's talk about performance first. I play on a 1440p monitor with 3080. And I was getting anywhere between 90 to 110 frames depending where I was in the world. And then with upscaling, DLSS balanced, I was getting anywhere between 140 to 190 depending where I was in the world once again. So I think performance was okay. Optimization could be a little bit better. Felt like you got movement felt like chunky sometimes. I don't know if it was just from memory leak, stuff like that. I'm not 100% sure. Let's talk about combat now. Combat feels okay. I think that's the best way for me to explain it. It feels inconsistent for me sometimes, and I also need to mention that enemies can kick you off rooftops, which I think is pretty funny. You know, you're just middle of a fight, and if you end up on the ledge of the map, the building, they'll just kick you off. So I think that's pretty cool. The shitty part is if you don't have the paraglider, you are 10 times out of 10 dead. So that's just something to take into note with the combat. But obviously you can kick them off too, which I think is, you know, adds to it. If they're, instead of me just trying to fight them and kill them, I'll just keep kicking them until they fall off. So there's that. With gameplay, there's no big game-breaking bugs, which I was very impressed by with Techland. They really took their time. The delay was definitely worth it, and I'm very happy that we waited for the delay because the product, you know, is amazing. I've been having a shit ton of fun, you know, running around with the parkour and stuff like that. We'll talk about that in a second here. So I think also the movement feels really good, you know, from sliding, jumping, paragliding. Eventually you can get the grappling hook too, which I think is fantastic. You know, the choices of movement you have to maneuver around the world is amazing. I think Techland did such a great job with this part. Also, that we are talking about gameplay, I noticed if you did play Dying Light 1, the nighttime, you were scared. You were scared shitless. I think that was the first game I was like, holy fuck. Fuck playing it in the dark, you know, with the zombies and the disadvantage you are with all the hordes of zombies in Dying Light 1. I think they softened it a little bit in Dying Light 2, since there's all those like safe zones and the what are they called, blue UV light stations around, so it kind of keeps the zombies at bay. So I think technically Dying Light 2 playing in the dark in the night is not as bad as it was in the first one. It's not as scary. You have the flashlight, of course, as you did in the first one, but they have these UV lights put around the map, so it kind of doesn't feel that dark. It doesn't get that dark, so that's something to take into account. Now let's talk about parkour. I think the parkour is fucking fantastic, kind of like I mentioned with how easy it is to maneuver around the map. The sliding, the jumping, the tuck and roll when you're jumping from far places, the energy you get from getting the inhibitors. I think that is such a good feature. I really do like it. I really have zero complaints with the parkour. I think that's the reason, like the main reason I play the game. You know, obviously the storyline and stuff like that, and killing zombies. So I think that was a good add-on with Techland. The parkour is just so much fun in this game. So now let's talk about the storyline. Without, you know, having any spoilers, I think the storyline was good. You know, it was decently good to follow along with. It's pretty interesting. The antagonist, Waltz, is pretty fucking cracked out. So I think the storyline was pretty good to follow. However, my only gripe with this was I felt like the side missions were pointless. I don't know how else to say it. They were just pointless. You know, I get to kill the renegades a few times. Then, you know, if you want to do the side quest mission, you got to do the parkour challenges. I don't know. I thought they'd build up to the story more, or I was just doing like the wrong side missions. But for me, it didn't feel as connected, I would say, to the main missions or the main story quests. So overall, I think the side quests could have been a little bit better. But besides that, now that we kind of talked about briefly about everything, let's talk about, is the game worth buying? If you play Dying Light 1, I think everyone says this. If you play Dying Light 1, I would consider picking up this game. And like kind of I've mentioned, picking up this game for $60, I think it's definitely worth it. I've already put in 25 hours. So for me, I've already got my money's worth, if you want to say it. But if you're a little skeptical, or, you know, you want to wait a little bit, I totally understand picking it up on sale when it's $40, $45. One more thing to mention is this game will not be on any other service like Game Pass, Uplay. Obviously, it won't be on there because Techland is a private development team. So you will have to just wait for this game to go on sale. I think getting the game for $45, whatever it goes on sale for, 10-20%, I would definitely recommend it. The storyline and everything I've kind of mentioned, I think you'll have a fantastic time and you'll easily put in 40, 50, 60 hours. So with all that, you do with what you will. But hopefully this review helped someone. If you would like to see more reviews in the near future, I plan on doing one with for Destiny 2 Witch Queen. You know, the content you get, everything, the raids, stuff like that. So if you did enjoy this, please let me know down below. And besides that, have a wonderful day.